With the new year comes a new season, and in this video I'm going to show you one of the strongest team builds to learn for climbing the ranks, and how to better help prepare you for Season 2. Now, I was able to discover this powerful build thanks to the community contribution on this channel, specifically these commenters who brought it to my attention and the various helicopter strategies they mentioned. Blending their ideas with a strong economy metric and powerful early game towers led me to discover a strategy that can consistently win more than 2/3 of the games I play with it in mid to high tier arenas. Now in this game, managing your early game income and generating a large amount of mid to late game income is very important for consistent wins. Having a strong build order will lead to a strong economy, and having a strong economy will lead to a strong build order. Both of these aspects in the game are very important in carving out new viable builds, and I'll be speaking on the metrics for both of them in later chapters of this video. I'll also mention how the community can contribute to the discovery of strong builds and playstyles later as well. Now for the general playstyle, this build was crafted with a focus on strong defense against the most popular balloon waves, and it builds a very strong early game economy to fund heavy blimp pushes towards the mid to late game. The build is built using the helicopter, an economy tower, and an early game tower. The variant I'll be sharing with you today includes the druid for the early game, the farm for the economy, and the helicopter for anti-camo and mid to late game damage. I would also like to mention that the boomerang is a valuable early game consideration due to its ability to transition into late game with MOA press from its bottom path tree. However, I've already covered the boomerang tower in a separate video on the channel, so if you're interested, feel free to check that out. Now the general playstyle for the Season 2 build is as follows. For the early game, you build 2 XX3 druids and Oban, taking 1 X3 or X13 if needed, depending on the map. For the mid game, you want to build banana farms to get an early powerful economy, and I'll be sharing the specific round metrics you want to hit in an upcoming segment. But you'll also want to get a 3-2X helicopter, or 2 to defend against the round 12 camo pushes, lead pushes, and beyond. For the late game, you can get consistent victories versus Dartling players using the round 18 quadra fortified MOA brush that's allowed thanks to the powerful early game banana farms, giving you enough economy to do so. You can also send consistent high tier blimps without worry of nuking your economy, thanks to banana farms not being able to lose their income generation when sending a blimp. Now just some useful quirks that I've come across when using these towers. A couple consistently popped up in my games and I'll share them with you here. The middle path helicopter can be used to farm heavy in the mid to late game, offering consistent cash generation and allowing you to position towers better if you need to. For the top and bottom path choices for the late game, I generally choose the bottom path. It just feels a little more consistent, and the MOAB press built into the tier 3 bottom path feels very valuable too. The top path pursuit tier 2 feels kind of clunky as well. So I mostly find myself building some 024 or 042 helicopters. I usually have at least one top path helicopter, however though, just to take out the lead camos if needed. The economy tower can be substituted for any other economy generating tower, such as the balloon trap engineer or cash drop sniper. Generally you just need something to boost your income outside of just normal balloon sends, due to the nature of mid to high tier games usually going late, due to both players knowing how to survive the first 30 rounds. Now speaking of how to survive the first 30 rounds, different early game towers can be used to succeed other than the druid, such as the boat, the boomerang, the ice monkey, and more. Now I'd like to try to briefly cover the round build order to give a general sense of how this is played. For round 1 you almost always start with 2 druids to begin the game, and you consistently send red balloons. I'll usually then upgrade those 2 druids to 002 to get the leak buff in case they leak anything, just to give them attack speed. I'll also sometimes upgrade one of them to a 1x2 or a x12 depending on the map. Rounds 3 to 4 you want to place open, begin sending double blues, and eventually upgrade both druids to an XX3, a 1x3, or an x13 respectively. The map will cause this to vary. For rounds 5 to 7, you want to begin sending spaced whites. You also want to get your first banana farm down around 440 economy and upgrade the top path once or twice. As you approach round 8, you want to be around 550 economy and consider stopping balloon sends at this metric for a short time. For rounds 8 to 11, begin the helicopter placement early if you're in against an aggressive opponent, or begin teching into another 2XX banana farm. While at 2 2XX banana farms and around 550 eco, begin placing and upgrading 2 helicopters, one 3x2 helicopter and one x22 helicopter. Now what's important about this is helicopters will be your only source of camo detection when running a druid, so it's important to be adequately prepared for when they arrive. A 3-2X helicopter is mandatory due to this nature by round 12 because of camo leads. Now rounds 12 through 17, you want to increase your economy per tick to a minimum of 750 by round 17. Place one more banana farm against a passive opponent around this time as well. And you can increase your helicopter count if you believe they're going to focus on camo pushing, or you can even place more druids if you believe they'll focus on pushing with blimps later on. As the game progresses to round 18 and on, you can begin to win a large amount of your games at the start of this. Round 18 will win you a large amount of games, and almost every game I've played so far ends before round 30, or shortly after due to the fortified bat or fortified DDT waves. Since it's the beginning of the season, you go down in your rank, and you have to climb back up, and so a lot of these games have been pretty one-sided at the start. Overall, I very much enjoy using the helicopter and the banana farm. Both change the game loop in interesting ways, and I enjoy the change of playstyle after the constant Dartling Gunner exposure in Season 1. Please note that this build order is not the apex version of itself. It can be iterated on and improved further, either with different tower synergies or better metrics to meet at certain parts of the game. I ask you to consider this build order and the potential ways it can be optimized. Is there a better early game tower to pair it with, or even a better way to use the towers? Is there a way to have a more consistent early game or a stronger late game? I've seen many Master Tier players in the community already and in the comments, and would like their input on how to further refine some of these builds and upcoming build orders I'll be covering. In experimenting with this build order, the helicopter became very interesting to me, and I'll be releasing a video more focused on it soon, as well as the consistent meta that will be popping up for Season 2 once the game is patched, so keep an eye out for that, or interact with the video by subscribing or commenting to get the future videos pushed into your algorithm. I hope this video has helped you in some way or expanded your idea on the potential builds for this game. Thanks for watching.